Now I do prefer the darker background. I've seen sayings of natural subjects should have a natural background. So what I'm actually going to do is bring the white back and try some of the fruit setup that I have. And again, I'll probably try it on a darker background too, just to see which I prefer. I think I'm going to prefer the darker side of it even with that, but we'll give it a go. Right, okay, so let's carry on. I've set up a different subject here. Okay, I've got some grapes and some pears out. I'm trying something slightly different and just seeing if the spacing them out a little bit more is going to work. And I've also gone for the white base and a black background. Don't think it's going to work, to be honest, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, I need to tilt this down just a little. Straighten this up. Maybe just there, I think. Okay, still 1/8 of a second, F9 and ISO 200. Focus point just a little, so it's a bit more central. There we go, and focus off, and shot. Okay, to be honest, that looks rubbish. I've got a bit of shadow on one pair and not across the rest of it. It's really unbalanced. It just looks awful, so I'm not going to be doing that. Let's try something different. Let's see. I like the grapes slightly back. The pear sitting just to the front. Maybe a little bit more balanced here. There we go. Now this is creative choice. Okay, and I'm still going to have a bit of shadow on, but it seems a bit more intentional. So let's give that a try. Looks a bit empty. Looks a bit like there's. Let's try another pair on the other side. Probably overloading it now. Try another shot there. Yeah, I'm not really liking it. Okay, I'll try come in much closer. Double check my focus is still there. I'll move things slightly over. Just a little to the side. Keep the setup as it is, just a little bit more over this side of the board. It's looking very light on one side and dark on the other, so don't really want to see the bottom of the pear. Let's try this way here. Not liking it. Just not liking it. Too much empty board at the front. Shift all this forward a little. I'm not liking it for a number of reasons, but that's one of them. There's nothing wrong with cheating a little bit when it comes to positioning. We need something just to make something stand a little bit taller as long as it's out of sight. Okay, there is a pair on top of a couple of camera batteries. Just there, let's try that. Now it just looks really off balance. There's a little bit more at the back, because something at the back at all, there's a bit too much at the front, it just looks off balance. Okay, I mean, I'm getting nice reflections in the side of the pears. No, Try something else to bump up with. Let's try a little water blue tack. I'll slightly reframe this as well. Zoom in a little more. Make it a little bit more of a central shot. Pare down. With a blue tack with it. Alright, focus. Yeah. No, because now I've got part of the board, part of the chopping board coming off on one side and not on the other side. Okay. I'm definitely not a fan of the white base and the black backdrop, so I'm going to get rid of that. One sec. Absolutely. I'll try one with a white background. More natural light for the natural things and so on. Okay. And to move it all over so don't get one side of the board cut off and not the others. This side there. Pop it just in there like that. Let's try that. Zoom in a little just to get it nice and close. And take a shot there. Oddly, it actually looks a little bit better. Looks like almost on a slight angle. It just means there's a little bit more board. I want to keep the amount of board at the front. I want to keep that nice and flat. Even. More. Okay, that's worked not too bad. I do definitely prefer a slightly darker shot, so I'm going to bring my shutter down just a little. If there's a 15th of a second. Too much. Let's go back to a 10th again. That's slightly underexposed on the meter. Okay. That's not bad. Not bad. I think it's because there's a ball of grapes that isn't helping. I've never seen a ball of grapes before. What I'm going to do is add a little bit more colour contrast with the red grapes. Let's actually just take the pears away just now. Almost just as simple as that, just one versus the other. It looks odd, but I like odd, so that works for me. Right, I'm definitely going to switch around for a black background. Personal preference and all. Let's get this out of the way. Sorry, black background and black base. Oh. Okay, now I'm just going to try taking a shot this way here. Okay, I quite like that. We're getting a bit more shadow off to one side. The light is really kind of tailing off better. Something you can do if you want to balance out the light a little bit is use either a bit of white card, a bit of white paper, anything along those kind of lines. and use it as a little bit of a reflector. Okay, it brings in just a little bit of light. Again, you can bring it closer or further back as needed. I'm just going to take another quick shot on all the same settings here. Okay, and that puts in a little bit more light. You can also use a proper reflector if you have one, but for this, that's working fine. I'm going to shape it just a little, just to bring it a bit more to the front of where I'm seeing. And try the same again. Okay, there we go. Quite happy with that. Okay, alright, that'll do. Now, quite simply, after I said I was quite happy with that, it turned out I really wasn't, because I seen that the board was coming off the back of one side and not the other again. Bigger board is what you need. I like the way it tails off, but I don't know if it's just a bit too much. Let's just try that one last time. Okay, one last. A little nudge to one side. And one last shot here, I think. Okay, there we go. Happy enough with that. Not overly happy, it's not great, but it's not bad. For the purposes of this anyway. Okay. Okay folks, there we go. Hopefully that has been useful for you so far. That's a little bit on the still life side and using natural light. So just as a quick recap, you've also got big window or small window, whatever light you have is the light that you have. Depending on how you're set up, you can move your objects around to try and adjust the shadows, change the light and so on. There's simple things you can do to adjust the light itself that comes in from the window, such as a little bit of covering across the window, thin paper, anything like that at all, just to diffuse it a little bit. If it's too much, if you've got blinds or shades or anything like that on the window, you can shape and filter out the light that's coming in. I don't have any on my patio window here, so I can't demonstrate that one, but you get the idea of how you can adjust what's actually coming in to hit it, okay? Okay folks, now I think we've got a few decent shots there that we've taken, so it's really just now time to head on over into the editing side. So we'll click into the next video where I will pop these shots onto Adobe Lightroom, and we'll see what we've got and we'll see what steps I'm going to take just to try and enhance them a bit further. Okay, see you there.